What's up, everybody? It's your girl, absolutely April, here for another reality recap. And we are talking today about the Real Housewives of Potomac, one of my favorite housewives. I don't even watch Housewives of Atlanta since these girls came on the scene. I am totally feeling Potomac, and I am so glad that they are back. If you are new to my channel, I'm absolutely April, and I do recaps and reviews on TV shows, reality shows, movies, um, and I also like to throw in some spirituality things, some things that are maybe on my mind that I just want to get off my chest. This is where I come to just give some of my thoughts. And if you think you can get down with that, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, join the tribe, hit the like button, share my videos, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified about all of my uploads. And if you are returning, I appreciate your support. And we are going to get into Real Housewives of Potomac. Now, I didn't do a video about the looks. I think all of the ladies look really good. This is probably one of my favorite um, cast photos this year. I think the red looks really, really good on all the ladies. And if I had to pick my favorite one, the one that stands out to me the most would be Candace and the Grand Dame Karen Huger. Those are the ones that stand out to me the most. I like the way it's fitting on them. I like the way the dresses are fitting. I like the way they're looking. Their hair looks good. So if I had to pick, my favorite, those would be my two favorite. So comment down below if you agree. Let's get into the reality recap of it all because I don't want to belabor the point and I don't want to keep you on here for a long time. So let's get into it. We are we open up the episode where Giselle and Karen are on a picnic. I love seeing Giselle and Karen together. I hate when they're at odds because it goes deep with them. But when they are together, it's like I don't know. It's like magic. And I know, Robin is Giselle's bestie, but when Karen and Giselle are on the same page, it is magic on the screen. And I enjoy seeing them going to the picnic together. So they start talking about Ashley getting a divorce. And so Robin joins them. Child, Robin got some new hair. Who's this? She has an auburn or a burgundy hair color. It looks really good against her skin complexion. She's growing it out. She's not doing the pixie cut anymore. I love the way Robin looks. So Giselle, I'm sorry, tells them, she has questions for Ashley because it's all the rumors out about her and Michael and the divorce. So they asked about Ray and Giselle shades Karen about, because Karen says she's 17 years younger than Ray, I'm sorry. And so, Giselle has to shade Karen about it. She was like, girl, it was 14 years at one point. It was 7 years at another point. Now it's 17. And so, I love when they, throw jabs at each other. So they talk about Mia's cancer scare and what she posted on social media. Robin says she feels like it could be an attention-seeking thing. I'm reserving my judgment on that because everybody deals with things differently, and I feel like for me, it wouldn't have been my cup of tea to go on social media, especially if I wasn't sure about the diagnosis. I think that's a bit much because you send people who love you in like a tailspin. So it's just, I don't know. I wouldn't have done it, but okay, it's done. It's out there. Now the ladies are discussing it. And some people think it was an attention seeking grab for Mia. Hopefully it's not. Um, Karen says she wants to hear her out. That's Karen girl from last season. So Karen says she's trying to be diplomatic and she's, trying to, stay neutral at this point. But she does say that's not the way she would have handled the situation if it was her. So um, Giselle again brings up Ashley's divorce. And so at this point, Ashley has arrived to the picnic. And so they asked her about the divorce, and Ashley was like, they are definitely getting a divorce. They're separated at this point. So they asked, what happened between you and Michael? Why are y'all getting a divorce? So Ashley basically says, she got tired of the threesomes and she didn't want to live that life anymore. She wanted to be, more of a settled down woman. And she didn't want to kind of live, life out there. She got two kids and she said she doesn't drink anymore. So, I don't know. I wouldn't have opened Pandora's box in the beginning if it were me. So now it's kind of hard to say to Michael, like, well, yeah, now I don't want to do it no more. When that was which the foundation of your marriage. Y'all got freaky together and now you're trying to take it back. And it's kind of like, I know Michael is like, you can't, I'm not down with that. So they're at odds with it. And and Karen gives her a little bit of wisdom when you go through a divorce, it can bring out the worst in people, and I've seen it. It can get really ugly, and Ashley needs to make sure she's going in this with both eyes wide open because Michael looks like he is a slippery one, and he will get some over on you, girl. So Ashley, I mean, I get that that's the father of your children, but you got to protect yourself. You got these two kids you got to think about. You do not want to be one of the women out here struggling, which I don't think you will, but I'm just saying, don't be no fool, Ashley. So Karen says she wants to throw a spring back into spring party, a spring fling type party. So she's excited about that, and she, invite the ladies. So they were kind of like, oh, this is a different kind of invite from Karen Huger because we all know Karen Huger loves to have a lavish invitation. So Karen gives her a little invitation to the ladies and tells them she's going to throw a party to bring, to welcome spring back in. So it goes to Chris and Candace. Chris and Candace are going to a fertility clinic. She's thinking about freezing her eggs because she is at a point in her career where she doesn't want to slow down. And I feel like this is a wise decision on Candace's part because guess what? Kids are a lot of work. I love my child. I love him with everything that's within me. And it's a lot of work. It is a whole lot of work. And you have to really be ready, if that's what you're going to do and you're going to, go that route with your husband, you need to be prepared for everything that comes into play. When you bring a child, you can't just say, well, I mean, you could be like a Neela and, get a Miss Gomez, but maybe that's not how Candace wants to raise her child. So I totally get it. So the doctor is kind of really being letting them know that if they're going to do this process, they need to be at their appointments. There is no missing appointments when it comes to this. They have to be all in or not at all. So Candace, tells Chris, like you're working. There, you have no work-life balance. He's in hospitality. He works at a hotel, and you may be gone, and I could be at home by myself with the child. And let me tell you something right now. My husband worked overnight, and I had a small child. I had an infant, and I was a new mom. It was dang on hard because my child, he would not latch. So that means I had to pump around the clock. I was tired. And when he would come in from work, he'd bounce the baby a little bit, then fall asleep. And I was the one waking up. It took a lot, it took a toll on me. And I started to lash out on him because I was so tired. It was like I was a zombie. Especially those first 3 months, I was walking around like a zombie. And he was a new baby. I didn't have family. It was just me and him. And I was like, this ain't what you want. I was like, I understood why people get nannies. If I could afford it at the time, I would have got a nanny because I was tired. So I get what Candace is saying. She's saying something that's absolutely correct. So I'm glad that she is taking the time to want to freeze her eggs. She says she's unsure about, Chris's availability with his job. And Chris, in true Chris fashion, he's hangry because he's hungry. And so he's kind of lashing at her and cursing at her and stuff. And he says he just hates that she just doesn't listen to what he's saying. Look, y'all need to get this thing together. Y'all can't be around if y'all already arguing before the baby get here and y'all not really sleep deprived like you are when you have a baby. Y'all need to think about it. Think about it before you take that leap because it's a lot. It is a whole lot. So yes, take the time, freeze your eggs, and when you know that you're in a good spot with each other, then you go ahead. Do not do it thinking that's going to bring y'all closer together because it will not. Now, Sharice and Robin go for lunch. So it was good seeing Sharice on our screens again. Sharice and Robin have known each other the longest. Sharice has introduced Robin to Giselle. Basically, the whole group. Robin feels like, Sharice really is the grand dame, not Karen. Lord Jesus, don't start. Do not take Karen's title. We are not going to do that. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Y'all better find another name for Sharice. It will not be the grand dame because Karen is not giving up that title. I hate to tell y'all that. So at Flash, so the reason why they, go to lunch, Robin tells Sharice that she's considering asking Juan for a prenup. She doesn't feel like Juan deserves half of what she's the breadwinner. And she said if something happens between her and Juan, she doesn't feel like he deserves half. And I get it. I get it. Whatever is mine, but prior to us getting married, it should remain with me. And anything money we make as a couple, I feel like it should be split in half. But as I was watching Funky Dineva, and he brought up a good point. Now, Robin, you did lose a lot of money for Juan when you were not the breadwinner. That happened, and that put y'all in a lot of debt. Now, I don't know what happened with that money and if you, made good on that money between you and Juan, but y'all been through a whole lot together. So I don't see Juan as the person that's going to get you. But like Karen said, divorce brings out the worst in people. So I'm twerking on the fence. I am twerking on the fence. I see Robin's point, but I also see the point where, come on now. You and Juan have been through a lot together. So I don't know how Juan is going to take it. Juan may be all good with it, but also know that the tides can turn, Robin. You can get off of this show and you're no longer the breadwinner and something happened between you and Juan and you're going to be looking crazy. So catch that. So Sharice was like, okay, well, you don't think I deserved half when I got divorced? She was like, no. Girl, please. Sharice done pushed out all them babies. She took care of the household. And from what I understand, allegedly, he was out there laying it low and spreading it wide. Yes, she deserved half. She definitely deserved half. I can't believe you bitched your mouth to say that, Robin. Come on now. So Robin, being the bone carrier, she told Sharice that, Michael and Ashley are getting a divorce. Sharice says she doesn't believe it. She thinks it's for attention. And the way Ashley describes her divorce how her divorce is going with Michael, I can understand that because she is going to buy a house with this man. They're going to put it in their LLC, which is very smart. However, it's going to be an LLC with Michael and Ashley. So Ashley, I hope you're getting your ducks in a row. So Michael can't just put you out the house or anything like that. So I hope you're going to get your affairs in order because I would hate for it to get that ugly. Because I'm thinking if you and Michael get something together and y'all have a divorce, don't y'all have to sell the property and split the money? Isn't that how it works? I don't know. I may be wrong. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know anything about divorces. I just know people who got divorces. But I know that when they had property together and they got divorced, they had to sell said property and split the profit. That's what I understood. So Mia and Gordon moved into a rental down the street from Karen. And so the producers being shady, show a picture of Karen's house and says Karen's rental. Why you can't just say Karen's house? So Karen's rental. So Mia says she's renting a property is $10,000 a month. It's a nice big house, $10,000 a month. And then on top of that, she has put $65,000 into this rental property. Why, Sway? Why? Why are you putting $65,000 into a house you do not own? Are you leasing to buy? Because ain't no way I'm putting $65,000 into someone else's house to bring up the value of someone else's house. So if and when they want to put you out, they got the value, honey. Why are you doing that? You're giving them $65,000 freely. Child. So it looks like Mia's having a gathering. A bunch of her family's there. She's showing off her new, rental property. And her mom, walks up to her. Mia and her mom from last season, they had a strained relationship. And, her mom was on drugs and she was, trying her best to stay sober. And, they did not see eye to eye. So they were working on their relationship. So, I guess Mia has told her mom that she had this cancer scare. And so her mom was like, what's going on with that? And she was like, what? What you mean, what? Mia, this is the biggest thing that's going on in your life. You could possibly have cancer. So what you mean, like, what? When she asked you about what's going on with your health, what you mean, what? And she was like, oh, it was just, some bumps that they found and, they're going to, run some tests. And she was like really playing it like it wasn't all that. Now, on one hand, it's like, okay, that's shady, but maybe she's doing that to make her mom feel good, kind of put her mom at ease so she doesn't worry about her. So I can see it both ways. Like I said, I'm twerking on a fence. I can see it both ways. So I'm hoping it's the fact that she doesn't want to scare her mom and, alert her mom that she could possibly have this cancer that she's saying that she could possibly have. So Karen and Ray arrived to Mia's house, and so they walk in, and they're doing their pleasantries and stuff like that. Karen looks good. Karen looks dang on good for her age. I mean, not even for her age. She just looks good, period. She looks very, very good. I hope that when I get to her particular age that I look just as good as Karen. I love that Karen has a lot of spunk in her. I love it. I love I love Karen's glow up and this. If y'all look at season one Karen versus now, because season one Karen, I was like, ooh, but season what we on 7? Karen, you did that, girl. Bravo, bravo. You look better than some of them young chicks. You was doing the daggone thing, Karen. So Karen, Karen's always working a room. So she asked Mia's family, like, what is some of Mia's quirks? What was some of Mia's quirks growing up? So somebody said she likes to do monkey voices. Lord Jesus. So Karen asked her, go ahead, show me what the monkey. Mia, Mia, you do not take Karen up on her offer to do the monkey voice. Not as an African American woman, you will not do a monkey voice on national TV. And you did it. Why? Mia, come on now. Let's let's think. Let's think, girl. You are too pretty to be out here doing monkey voices. And I mean, that's just to me seem like it's going to be a meme. And I don't know. I don't know. I would have did no monkey voice on national TV. Now, had the cameras went off and we maybe down some drinks, I might, but not while the camera's rolling. No, ma'am. You're not gonna catch me like that. So Karen brings Mia to the side and asks her, about the whole social media post about her, cancer scare. And so Mia was like, my friend, my best friend Jacqueline, kind of told me I should, post it and, and she wanted to, talk about her diagnosis or or lack thereof or just say where she's at. So she said her friend Jacqueline was the one who convinced her to do it. So Karen just is that older sister that tells her like, look, be careful what you posting, and the ladies is looking at you with a side eye at this point because it looks suspect. So Karen gives us some help, but I don't, Mia is special, honey. So Dr. Wendy Osefo meets with Peter Thomas. Yes, Peter Thomas, Cynthia's old boo, who now has a bar in Baltimore, I believe, somewhere. He has a bar. He has a bar one. So Wendy meets with Peter at Bar One about a possible venture of having a Nigerian lounge. So Peter, I guess, overheard Wendy talking one day and said he wanted to invest. So Wendy meets up with Peter just to get some particulars and kind of tells her what her vision for the lounge is. So Wendy's vision for the lounge is to have a library that is open 2 to 4 for kids, and then after that is a bar for adults, and they're gonna have black authors in this lounge. Wendy, don't nobody want to. And I'm so glad Peter said it. He was like, no, that's not gonna work. They know adults want to have, be drinking what around no kids. Ain't nobody want to get loose. Ain't nobody want to say from the windows to the walls while the kids is down there, reading Dr. Seuss. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. This is not the gym where you have kids being kept while you get drunk in another room. Like, no, no, Wendy, that's not gonna work. No. So Peter goes on to tell her, like, okay, he doesn't like that idea, but he is down for the whole Nigerian lounge type vibe. He saw a spot in, I believe, Annapolis, he said, and he said it'd be like a little over $1 million as an investment, but he'll put up the majority of investment. All she has to do is do 20%, get 20% ownership out of it, which would be about 350K of her money. And she probably won't see a return investment in about 2 years. So Peter's been, doing these restaurants and he's been putting up his lounges. And from what I understand, they've been doing pretty good. I think if Wendy wants to do something like that, he would probably be a good person to do it with, but you better have your I's dotted and T's crossed. So you just know, because anytime you go in business with someone, child, you better make sure that everything is ironclad, that there is no room for error, because business relationships can go south real quick. So when when Peter said something about $350,000, Dr. Wendy Osefo took a step back and was like, "Ooh, I got to talk to Eddie about this." And she don't think Eddie is going to be on board with it. And I mean, allegedly, they were saying that Wendy don't have it like that. She got a whole bunch of student loans, and she just really don't have money just to be thrown around like that. So I don't know. I don't know what Wendy got, but I know she got a few jobs, and Eddie is a lawyer. But $350,000 is a big investment to not get a return in about 2 years. And I do know, and I think I remember Todd saying this, Candy's Todd, saying, sometimes, those lounges and restaurants, they don't do well. They don't do well at all. So, you run that risk of it not doing well. Peter has a great track record, but you just don't know, it's a risk. But it could be a big reward. You just never know. And I don't know if Eddie is down for that, taking that particular risk to open a Nigerian lounge. So moving on, Ashley arrives to Uncle Lump's house with the kids, Dean and Dylan, I believe. I think that's the names. So I know one of them is Dean. I can't remember the other one. I think it's Dylan. So Ashley says, she's glad that, ever since her and Michael separated, she has now have a renewed relationship with her family. So she doesn't have to feel that strain of not being around them because Michael doesn't get along with them. So she is, enjoying the time with her family. So Uncle Lump is the uncle that always keeps it real with Ashley. He's more like a father figure to Ashley because, we all know what happened with Ashley's dad. He wouldn't even come to the door for her that season. Y'all remember that? Yeah, horrible. So Uncle Lump asks, if she's worried about Michael still being in the kids' lives, even though they're getting a divorce. She says it comes, that is a fear for her, but I don't feel like she thinks he's going to do that. I think she feels like he will still be in the boys' lives. She actually said, she does have that fear in the back of her mind because she watched how her mom struggled with her. And she doesn't want to, that struggle as a single parent. And I get it. I grew up with a single parent as well, and it's not easy. I'm a single parent now, not by choice. My husband passed, but it's hard out here to be a single parent. And I have just one, she has two. And boys are they are a lot of work. They are a lot of work. So I'm pretty sure they have high energy in the home. So I can just imagine. So Uncle Lump asked if she and Michael have made, arrangements as far as, child support and all that kind of stuff. So Ashley reveals, her prenup is no longer valid because when she had the prenup that she did, if she was married, if they got divorced within the first 5 years, he would just give her a lump sum. Now it's no longer valid, so she could stand to get half. However, on Watch What Happens Live, she said that there's some tricky words in the prenup. So now they're having a little issues with, this whole prenup situation. So like I said, divorce brings out the worst in people. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if she's just going to continue to just be separated so she can still get, live the way she's been living for the past however many years she's been with Michael. So I don't know, but Ashley is not done by any means. Ashley's not done, and if she got to stay with Michael just to make sure her boys are good, I can see her staying with Michael. So she said, the producers asked, how much does Michael make? She said she's never going to reveal how much Michael makes, but she knows that he makes quite enough for her to be comfortable and her two boys to be comfortable. So Ashley tells Uncle Lump that they are creating an LLC to buy their home, and Uncle Lump said, are they getting divorced or creating a business together? He's trying to figure out like what's going on here. And Ashley says, she really doesn't understand all the legalities of, getting divorced and everything. And Uncle Lump was like, that's why you need a lawyer. And she was like, Ashley was like, Michael's gonna be writing a proposal up. And he was like, well, who's writing the proposal? Michael. You need a lawyer. Uncle Lump is not trying to have Ashley out here looking crazy. He keeps trying to drill in her head, get a lawyer, Ashley, get a lawyer. And I'm pretty sure Ashley she's playing chess, not checkers. I don't think she knows Michael better than anybody. And she knows he's a shrewd businessman. So she has to think 3, 4, 5 steps ahead. So if she got to string Michael along until she gets her ducks in a row, that's exactly what Ashley's going to do. Mark my words. So Giselle is working on this house deal. And I believe Giselle is a beautiful woman. I always say she looks like Vanessa Williams, Miss America Vanessa Williams. And I don't know. I don't know why Giselle, I don't know what architect Giselle got, but this house looks like a bunch of different houses in one. It looks like she just put different houses together and just put it together. Like the West Wing don't look like the other part of the house. It just looks like a fixer-upper that has gone wrong. That's what it looks like, a fixer-upper that has gone absolutely wrong. I don't know who the architect is, who is doing this, but steer clear of Giselle's architect because it does not look good on the outside. The inside is a little bit better, but the outside, baby, that outside looks a mess. It looks like Lego pieces put together and she painted white and black and it just does not match at all. So Giselle is looking for clothes to go to, Karen's spring fling. And so she needs to look, spring chic or whatever. So she asked the twins for help. And oh my God, they look so cute. They had, nice subtle makeup. They look like little girls still, but they look like mature, like they was growing into maturity. And we remember when they first came on the scene, they were little girls. And so now they're 16 years old, and Grace is on her way out to college. When Giselle, now y'all know Giselle is not an emotional girl, but when the producers asked about, her daughter's moving on and moving out and her soon being an empty nester, Giselle got a little choked up. And Giselle does not show emotions, but talk to her about her kids leaving. Giselle is going to be a mess, honey. She is going to be a whole mess. So the twins are helping her pick out her clothes. So she's showing them like, what about this? She was like, no, that's church lady. What about this? And she was like, I thought we upgraded your wardrobe, mommy. And so that was cute. Giselle's girls give her hell, especially about her wardrobe. And it's a really cute dynamic. And I love their mother-daughter relationship. They can talk to Giselle. She doesn't really, make them feel bad about anything. They say it with respect, but they don't, mind giving their mom jabs a little bit. So I think it's cute. So they found an outfit for Giselle that was really cute. So yeah, I enjoy seeing, the girls adore an angel. So moving on, Karen is at her party. The weather gets bad, so she has to, make some arrangements so people don't get rained on. So Mia's friend Jacqueline arrives. I think she's going to be a friend of this season. This is the one I believe that she has a falling out with. This is also the girl who told her to post her cancer scare on social media. But also foreshadowing, they should be having some type of argument. I don't know what's going on. Mia, if y'all been looking at social media, Mia has posted something about Jacqueline being in a domestic dispute. And, it's a lot of shots fired going back and forth between Mia and Jacqueline and some of the other cast members. It's really getting ugly out there. So Karen says that, Raven has moved to New York, and let me get my notes. Raven has moved to New York. She says, so Giselle is also telling Karen at this point as they're talking about the girls and everything. So Giselle tells Karen, she's like, I don't think Ashley telling us the truth about this divorce. I don't think Ashley telling us the truth. So Karen says, I know what she's doing. I done figured out what she's doing at this point. She wanted to get out of that condo and move into a house, and that's what she's doing. She's getting her house out of the whole situation. She says that's what, and that was her way of getting out. You might have hit the nail on the head with that, Karen, because what Ashley is saying, Ashley is not going to show all of her cards. Like I said, she's smart, but the way I guess she's trying to explain it, it just doesn't make sense. And when it don't make sense, it just don't make sense. And so Giselle is like a dog with a bone about this whole divorce situation. Like it's her divorce. So Ashley shows up and lets them know that she has found the house and she has put it in their LLC. And so Giselle is like, what is going on with this divorce? She was like, it's not a divorce, but a separation. And she says, like in the state of Virginia, they have to be separated for a whole entire year before they even file for a divorce. So they've only been separated at this time, I believe about 6 months is what she says on Watch What Happens Live. So she has another 6 months to go to be separated from Michael. And she also said if she ends up having relations with Michael, it starts the clock over again. So, and they're living in the house together. So I don't even know how that happens. Like you don't feel the urge, even if I don't know. So, like I said, I don't know how. Ashley just wants a house out of this, so I'm just let her get her house. So Giselle says there's no one buys a house with someone that they're divorcing, and Giselle feels like Ashley is just not being really truthful with her. And so Ashley says she is the most transparent with Giselle, and she's telling her everything she needs to know. So she did admit that she woke up with a coochie craving for Michael. Gross, gross. Like, I don't know. Michael is just somebody I don't understand that you would get a coochie craving for. To me, Michael seems like someone who smells like pickles. Like he smells like pickles. Michael looks like he smells like pickles to me. And I don't see I don't see where he would, you would get a craving for that. But okay, girl. So let's see. Karen tells her that she isn't mad about getting what she needs for her kids, but doesn't think having Michael on the deed is smart. It's not smart. Michael can be on the mortgage, but he don't need to be on the deed. It needs just to be your name on that deed. But it's in the LLC, and the LLC is in both of their names. So there you have it. So Candace arrives, Candace and Chris arrive, and Giselle asks Candace, how she's doing. And so they, as they make a small talk, they immediately go to, Michael and Ashley getting a divorce. So Robin they flash back to Robin spilling the beans to Candace, like, Robin, like you is just going around telling all the Ashley business that they're getting divorced. So Candace is like, I would throw a party for her getting a divorce. Like she's all for it. She can't stand Michael. So Ascala was there. I enjoyed seeing Ascala. I wonder if she'll be a friend of this year. I'm not really sure. Wendy comes in. She arrives with her hubby, and she goes to give Giselle a hug, and Giselle's like, "Oh no, ma'am! Oh no, ma'am! You're not gonna hug me and be fake. Keep the same energy you had last season. Keep the same, and do not touch me." And I'm with Giselle on that. Like, let's not play. We're not gonna play for the cameras now. We really don't like each other, and let's just keep that same energy between us, okay? Let's keep the same energy. So I don't know. I don't know if these two ladies are going. And then they're sorority sisters, but that don't mean nothing, I guess. But I'm just saying. So Mia arrives with Gordon, and as soon as Giselle sees Mia, she hops off that little chair and makes a beeline for Mia and says, "Is this what cancer look like? Is this what cancer free looks like? What is this?" Giselle, have a little bit more tact, because regardless of what it is or isn't, that's not how you approach somebody about their health. That's just not what you do. So, Mia is like, she said, this is what she has arrived look like. And so she said, Giselle asked if Karen had spoken to Mia about, her social media posts, and Karen did. And Giselle says, it seems like it came across as a need for attention. So at this point, Robin walks up. Robin ain't gonna be far. So Robin walks up, and Mia says she used her platform to express herself after she got a call that it could have been lymphoma. Now she brings up lymphoma, and this is the first time she's bringing up lymphoma. She hasn't brought lymphoma up in her confessional, and she did not tell her mother that it could possibly be lymphoma. So this is where all of the shadiness with Mia is coming into play, because you're saying, you're not you. I would think you'd be more transparent with your mom versus Giselle and Robin in a party setting. Needless to say, Giselle was wrong, because that's not the time to bring up someone's health issues at a party. Like, it's just poor taste, in my opinion. In my opinion. So Mia tells Giselle, F her for talking about her health. And that's where we end this particular episode. So it is to be continued. We will see on episode 2 where Giselle and Mia go with this whole health situation. Yes, Giselle is wrong. Yes, Mia is sketchy. Two things can be true at the same dang time. So there you have it. That's the Real Housewives of Potomac. They came in with a bang. I can't wait to see where this season goes, child. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. These Potomac girls are on fire. One of my favorite franchises. I feel like they have bumped the Atlanta girls out the way. Atlanta needs to take some notes. Catch that. So see y'all for the next review. On to Married to Medicine. Talk to you soon. Peace.